Curry splits the defense behind the back. Fires a three. Oh, he puts it in. What a spectacular move. And it's the largest lead of the game.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time Curry's managed to change the NBA. I'm doing something a little different with a player timeline, but let me know which team you guys want to see next or which player you want to see next. I've already made videos on the Lakers, Hawks, Suns, and Bucks, but if you guys want to see another player or team, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, let's get straight into this video. So Curry was born in Akron, Ohio, and actually the exact same hospital that LeBron James was born at around 3 years ago. And he's the son of Dell Curry, who also played in the NBA, and back in the day, he was known as a sharpshooter, who was known for his three-point shots. So from an early age, Curry had a basketball and three-point mentality.
Young Stephen may not know it now. Basketball may be his future.
Well, we started him out in the Reeboks. He's in the right shoe wear. We've got a couple balls floating around. He laughs a lot when I bounce him, so hopefully he'll pursue
some type of ball around him, and he just gravitated toward the game.
And for the next 18 years, Curry would work hard at basketball, and by the time he was graduating high school, he had been named to the All-State and All-Conference teams, while also being named Team MVP. And he'd also led his team to 3 consecutive conference titles and state playoff appearances. And you might think that colleges would be heavily recruiting this kid, but Curry was largely ignored because of his weight sitting only at 160 pounds. And in the 2006 high school point guard rankings, Curry was ranked low. And you might know some of these higher ranked players like Ty Lawson and Mike Conley, but Curry was way below all of them, sitting at the 52nd best point guard in high school. And originally Curry wanted to go to college at Virginia Tech, as both his father and mother were legends back in the day. But Virginia Tech couldn't see past Curry's weight and only offered him a walk-on spot. In fact, only 3 teams wanted Curry: the Winthrop Eagles, Davidson Wildcats, and VCU Rams, none of which were really good basketball colleges. And in the end, Curry decided to enroll at Davidson as a shooting guard. And in only his first year, it was already clear that colleges had messed up by passing up on him, as he averaged 21 points per game, the second highest in the nation for a freshman, behind only this lanky guy from Texas named Kevin Durant, leading his heavily underdog team to the NCAA tournament, where unfortunately, despite a 30-point performance from Curry, Davidson was eliminated by the favored Maryland team.
Standing ovation from the entire building for young freshman Stephen Curry of Davidson. What a great debut on a national stage for this kid with the stroke just like his father.
But despite Curry's strong performance, NBA scouts were still not interested in a kid as small as Curry at the NBA level, so he returned to Davidson for his sophomore year, where he improved to 25.9 points per game with 2 steals, leading his team to the NCAA tournament once again as one of the biggest underdog teams. And this truly was the most career-defining moment so far for Curry, as in the first round, he was matched up with the heavily favored Gonzaga team, and early in the second half, it seemed like the game was pulling away from Davidson, as Gonzaga had taken an 11-point lead and held Curry to only 10 points. But then Curry just snapped and went on to score 30 points in the second half, including the game winner to upset Gonzaga.
Lovedale.
Sander got a piece of it, and there's room. Curry again. They get enough space.
We're a Curry 3 away from tying it. Here it is. We're all tied at Raleigh. And Lovedale keeps it for him. Curry. Oh,
We'd like to get fouled here.
oh, nice. The defenders.
And this really put Curry on the map, but still analysts heavily favored Georgetown in their second round matchup. And they seemed to be right, as they held Curry to only 5 points while taking a 17-point lead. But once again, Curry turned it up, scoring 25 second half points to upset another big name school.
Right at 34 minutes a game, he'll make that one.
Best look of the day.
He will make that one.
Tournament against Villanova. The 22. Back is Curry with a 3. Win as a 2 seed. Tennessee a 2 in trouble. Here's Curry. Oh my goodness. Another 3.
Behind the back.
At this point, Curry had become a national sensation and followed it up with another upset, scoring 33 points to beat the 3rd seed in Wisconsin team. But all runs have to come to an end, and Curry's insane March Madness run was cut short by the Kansas Jayhawks, who beat Davidson by 2 points and then went on to win the championship.
4 to go. Pumps. Kicks it out. Richard. It's over. Kansas holds on, and the Jayhawks are heading to the Final Four.
And you might expect there to be an insane amount of hype surrounding Curry in the NBA after this performance, but scouts still didn't believe in him, saying he was too small to be a shooting guard and needed to switch to point guard, and even then he wasn't a traditional one, and needed to focus on becoming an NBA style point guard, focusing more on playmaking than shooting. What is interesting is that one man was a huge supporter of Curry in college, and that was the 23-year-old LeBron James, as both Curry and LeBron had become close friends after his game against Wisconsin, a friendship that later on would become one of the most famous NBA rivalries.
Yeah, Stephen Curry. Yeah.
You think he'll be good in the league?
I think so. I think he knows how to play the game of basketball. Of course, you know, being you know, the son of a former NBA player, Dell Curry, he was taught well how to play the game of basketball. So he has the talent.
Quick as hell.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I was impressed.
But because of the lack of NBA interest, Curry went back to college, this time trying out the point guard position. And this is when Curry really strived as a player, as he put up his best season yet with 28 points per game. And although Davidson didn't qualify for the NCAA tournament, NBA scouts were finally giving Curry the respect he deserved.
Wasser gets the rebound. It never touched the rim. Curry with the three. Stephen Curry lights it up. LeBron's impressed in what he sees. 42 points, 2 away from tying a career high. And Curry assigns Davidson.
So coming into the draft, there are a lot of questions surrounding Curry's ability to play at the next level, especially since he didn't fit the typical prototype of a point guard with his lack of pure athletic ability and playmaking.
The question is, can he make the transition to the point guard spot? Is he going to be strong enough against NBA defenders over the course of an 82-game schedule to get the ball in the operational area? Is he going to understand time, score, and situations?
So coming into the draft, 4 teams needed a guard: the Timberwolves, the Knicks, the Suns, and the Warriors. And the Timberwolves had both the 5th and 6th pick, the Warriors had the 7th pick, the Knicks had the 8th pick, and the Suns had the 14th pick. And firstly, the Timberwolves had zero interest in Stephen Curry, and instead chose to draft back-to-back guards ahead of Curry in Ricky Rubio and John Flynn. The Knicks had a passing interest in Curry, hoping that he would fall to the 8th pick, and believe it or not, the Warriors were not completely set on Curry at the 7th pick. The only person who was completely set on Curry was the Suns GM, who had put together a trade package to bring the 7th pick to Phoenix in exchange for All-Star Amari Stoudemire amongst other pieces, but at the last second the trade fell through. The crazy thing is that the Suns GM at that time was none other than Steve Kerr, Curry's future head coach, predicting his success 5 years earlier. But anyways, the Warriors ended up with a pick and chose Stephen Curry.
With the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
But before we can continue with this video, I need to give a huge shout out to sponsors Keeps. So Keeps is a subscription-based service that makes it easier and more affordable for men to treat male pattern baldness. And you might be thinking, what's this got to do with me? I haven't least until 50 years old before I start to bald. But what surprised me is that 2 out of every 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the age of 35. That means between you, me, and some other guy, 2 of us need to proactively start thinking about treatment. And this is where Keeps comes in. As you submit your information to Keeps, and a licensed doctor will review your information and choose the right treatment plan for you, and then ship out this treatment every 3 months. And you can message this doctor 24/7 with any concerns and questions, and you can even track your progress with the Keeps tool. So if you're ready to take action and prevent your hair from looking like LeBron James and Kevin Durant, go to keeps.com/knack or click the link at the top of my description to get 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/NAK. But anyways, let's get back to Curry. So in Curry's rookie year with the Warriors, at first he struggled to find his groove, shooting poorly from the field and averaging only 14 points per game. But then as the season progressed, he began to find his groove. And in the last 36 games of the season, he vaulted himself into the Rookie of the Year conversation with a crazy stretch of games. But in the end, he finished second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Tyreke Evans, but also finished the season with 166 three-pointers, which were the most ever by a rookie in NBA history.
Pulls up, finds a sweet spot, and guns it a 3. Cold-blooded 3 straight away for Curry. 21. There's the Steph 3. It's good.
So after his dominant ending to his rookie year, Curry regressed slightly in his second year, falling from 22 points per game to 18, as for a couple of games he was battling a right ankle injury. But the biggest reason Curry wasn't putting up incredible numbers was that he was still a second option behind fellow guard Monte Ellis. But the real problems for Curry began in the offseason when he had to undergo a surgery for his right ankle, forcing him to miss time in the next season, and when he did return, he re-injured his ankle after only 26 games, forcing him to miss the entire season with another ankle surgery.
Tips on someone's foot. Yep, there it is.
Same foot.
Yep, Griffin, and he turned that ankle. It's the same way he turned it in San Diego against the Lakers last week.
But despite these injuries, the front office still decided to extend Curry to a 4-year, $44 million deal. And at the time, this was an incredibly controversial move because of his recent string of injuries. Analysts were saying that they should have let Curry walk or given him less money, and fans were calling him inconsistent and overrated. And while these fans were obviously incredibly wrong, it was very frightening how much Curry was twisting his ankle on random plays throughout the season.
His leg,
oh my goodness,
Steph Curry hurt his
again. Ankle coming out of the pack. And they're falling, and tonight in the first half, the Kings shooting 50. Chicago came right down on the foot of Kyle Korver.
Timeout. And gets up, and he's limping.
I don't think this is the fight.
But anyways, coming into the next season, Curry had a lot to prove and now had the space to prove it as the Warriors traded Monte Ellis, allowing a young Curry to lead the team. And with his leadership, Curry really began to develop from three-point range and made national headlines with his insane game against the Knicks, where he scored 54 points with 11 threes, one away from the record.
Stat just too accomplished.
We've seen that.
Look out, that guy is hot.
Curry for three. Wow! Unbelievable! Making it rain in New York. Tested a 2-on-1 back the other way. Curry, why not? For three! Bingo!
Falls out of his hands. That's
got enough room. Again! Butter! Steph Curry!
And Curry ended up finishing the season breaking countless records, and the biggest one was posting 272 threes, beating Ray Allen's record for most in a season, to lead the Warriors to a 47-35 record for the 6th seed while averaging 22.9 points per game. And in the first round, they continued this hot streak, upsetting the Nuggets in 6 games. But in the next round, the young team couldn't handle the veteran Spurs, who beat them in 6 games.
Leonard will inbound. Here's Ginobili for three.
After last year's crazy season, Curry was thrust into the spotlight, and after only a year, he had gone from a second option to one of the best point guards in the league, with rankings anywhere from 2nd to 5th. And he continued to prove it as he made his first All-Star game as a starter after averaging a career high in points and assists, eventually ending the season with a 51-31 record for the 6th seed once again.
Curry in the middle of the floor now, played by Marion. 5 to shoot. 4, 3 to the right elbow. Pump fake, step back, hit it with 1.5 seconds remaining.
Shot to win it. Steph on the sideline. It's 7 and 5 and 4. Curry to win. Good! Good! 110 left.
And in the first round, they faced the Clippers, and this series for both Curry and Klay Thompson was full of ups and downs, as some games Curry would score 30 points and 50% shooting, and other games he would score 14 and 30% shooting. And eventually the series was taken to 7 games where the Warriors lost.
Comes Curry, they're down by 5. Iguodala, Draymond Green.
Wow, that's huge.
Here comes Steph Curry. It's a 3. And he gets it, and it's a 3-point game. And now they will advance. The Los Angeles Clippers have won Game 7.
And after this loss, the Warriors received a flurry of criticism. And this might be hard to understand now, but back in the day, teams who focused too much on shooting threes were seen as unreliable and might have a good regular season, but always had terrible playoff runs. And over the past few years, Mike D'Antoni had tried to run three-point focused teams on the Knicks and Suns, and had failed countless times and was constantly ridiculed. Charles Barkley in particular was very vocal about not trusting these teams, as he didn't believe they could win a series, much less a championship.
I have said the exact same thing 16 years here. I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shooting jumpers.
But they're not even.
And obviously Curry completely changed this thought. The crazy thing is that during the 2013 season, the Warriors made 774 threes, which was the second best in the league, and they were considered a three-point shooting team. But this season, if they had only made 774 threes, they would be the 27th team in three-point shooting. Showing how once Curry started winning, everyone jumped on the three-point shooting trend. But back then, they weren't winning, and they were receiving a lot of pressure to change their system. But then the Warriors hired one man who had complete faith in the three-point shooting system and Curry's playstyle, head coach Steph Curry, who gave Curry the green light to shoot from literally anywhere, leading Curry to his best and craziest season yet, where he beat his own record for threes in a season with 286, averaging 23 points per game with 7 assists, earning him his first ever MVP as he led his team to 67 wins and only 15 losses for the first seed in the West.
On a 12-4 run, Curry inline shakes Paul out of his boots and hits a fallaway jump shot.
You want to see a dribble move? Watch this one.
It's up short, offensive rebound. Curry again. And Curry hits a three. Tie game. And Curry delivers.
Curry splits the defense behind the back. Fires a three. Oh, he puts it in. What a spectacular move. And it's the largest lead of the game.
The Warriors are coming in hot during the playoffs and absolutely dominated their competition, beating the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Rockets, and eventually the Cavs to claim their first ever championship.
Rebound Curry. And the dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions. Their first title in 40 years.
But still there were detractors saying that the Warriors got lucky with the beaten Spurs and injured Cavs, and defenses would eventually figure out Curry and the Warriors would lose their rhythm. But the next season, the Warriors only got better, especially Curry, who went on to have possibly the greatest individual season in history as he destroyed his previous record of 286 threes with 402, averaging 30.1 points per game, leading his team to the greatest regular season record in history with 73 wins and only 9 losses, to claim his second MVP and the first unanimous one in history.
Stolen by Curry. Curry gets it from midcourt, pulls up for a three on the way. Got it! Curry nailed it! He hit a three at the buzzer! Tips Curry has it, controlled it with a dribble, lost it, picks it up, behind the back, splits traffic, throws up a wild shot and banked it in as he fell down! He hit it as he was falling down!
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! And he ties the NBA record with his 12th three-pointer of the game. The brilliant shooting of Stephen Curry continues.
But obviously the playoffs didn't go exactly as planned, as Curry did manage to beat the Rockets, Blazers, and Thunder before eventually blowing a 3-1 lead to the Cavs to lose in the finals in 7 games. But regardless, after Curry's historic 2015 to 2016 season, he had permanently changed the Warriors and the NBA, as this season really was definitive proof that three-point shooting teams can compete at the highest level. And since Curry was drafted and eventually emerged as a superstar, three-point shooting has doubled, and along the way, Curry has won 2 more championships, made his way to second all-time in threes made, and has been named a 7-time All-NBA and All-Star player, plus a 2-time scoring leader. He's also a holder of countless records that honestly could be a whole nother video, but if you pause your screen at any of these points, you can read them at your own pace. But overall, Curry has completely changed the game. A lot of his weaknesses scouting reports are reporting on back in the day have become strengths that teams actively look for. And just by watching the game of basketball over the last few years, from an NBA to even a high school level, things that weren't happening before are now happening. From players pulling up 3 feet behind the three-point line or instead settling for a 3 instead of a layup on a fast break, these things have become incredibly common and entertaining to watch, and we have Curry to thank for that.